Welcome, everybody, to episode 30 of the Canuckleheads podcast. My name is Justin. I'm joined by my co host, Mr. Wes. And we have a little bit of explaining to do. We're about 2 weeks late for this episode. So we went to the last game of the season in Edmonton. We were both just kind of exhausted. And coming home Sunday, the Canucks were doing the player year-end media. So, hey, we'll do it Monday.
And we had to work Monday.
Yeah, and then they did the coach year-end media Monday. So they go, let's push it again. And then the GM and the assistant GM were Tuesday. Then we just we didn't have time to do it last weekend. Yeah. So here we are, recording it during a weekday.
Which it is kind of nice, too, because there was lots of media stuff to come out.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives us a chance to talk about everything and kind of cap the season.
It worked in our favor to take a little bit of a break. But yeah. Let's go over the last couple games here. Vancouver at Calgary, April 23rd, 2022. Remember April? Thatcher Demko, Dan Vladar get the start. 0-0 after one. In the second, we had a goal from Quinn Hughes. Beats Vladar clean over the blocker side shoulder. Great pass by Chase on to cause a turnover, which led to the goal. Or great play by Chase on to cause a turnover. Sorry. Yeah. This was 2-1 Calgary after two. In the third, we had a goal from Connor Garland off a great pass from Tyler Myers. Garland bats the puck in while he's behind the net. Great play by Garland. I remember he came sliding in and this was one of the nicest goals, low-key one of the nicest goals of the year.
Yeah, and it's funny because, we always talked about it all season. Garland will just shoot the puck from anywhere and just, do crazy stuff that's kind of unorthodox, and you see it work again.
Yeah. And then we had a goal from Elias the Alien Pettersson, a wicked wrist shot that beat Dan Vladar, clean high blocker. That was kind of the only thing PD did that night. This game feels like forever ago.
Yeah.
Because it kind of was. But this was a 6-3 loss for the Canucks. Shitty one to watch. Again, the goals were the highlights, really. There was nothing going on. The Flames just looked like they were ready for the playoffs in this one. Next, April 26th, Seattle at Vancouver. Spencer Martin and Joey Daccord get the starts. Demko not dressing due to injury. Artur Silovs was the backup for this one on an emergency recall. Will Lockwood, upper body injury, was scratched for Nick Batan. Dermott was out with a non-COVID illness, scratched for Al Burrows. The Canucks were wearing the Flying Skate jerseys, which they have unbeaten record in these jerseys, so maybe that's a little foreshadowing there. In the first, we had a goal from Sheldon Drive with a wrist shot early in the first that beat Daccord low glove. Then we had a goal from JT Miller with a snapshot off a backhand feed from Connor Garland. Hughes gets the second assist, and that sets the all-time single-season points record by a defenseman, which he'll break repeatedly for the next 8-10 years.
Yeah.
Then we had a goal on the power play. OEL with a slap shot from the point, assisted by Garland and Nick Batan. So this was 3-0 Vancouver after one. In the first intermission, Dan Murphy interviewed Brandon Sutter, and it was really good to hear from Sutter. It's kind of the first time we've got to hear from him all year.
Yeah.
It sounded like he's been through a lot. He didn't really get emotional, I would say, but you could kind of tell it was hard for him to talk about everything he's been through over the last year and a bit now. So good to hear from Sutter. He plans to continue his career, which is great. I know personally, from having COVID, I had a cough for 3.5 months.
Yeah.
And it so to be an athlete, and I don't know if it is his lungs that are affected, but just
something.
Yeah. So it's tough, right? It's not he had the flu, he'll be sick for a week, he just lost some weight kind of thing. Nobody really knows the long-term effects. So hopefully he can get a good off-season in and come to camp in shape and
be healthy.
Hopefully he has a job next year, whether that's in Vancouver or elsewhere. So Dallas and Vegas go to OT in this one, which officially eliminated the Canucks from the playoffs. We all kind of knew it was just a matter of time, basically. So
yeah. When we had those couple L's in a row after that other little streak, I already kind of knew, but...
Yeah. So this was 3-2 Vancouver after the second, and the refs decided the Canucks needed to play a whole period shorthanded, basically. Just a parade to the penalty box constantly.
Literally. It was so frustrating to watch, too.
Yeah. In the third, we had a goal from Luke Shen, who pokes the puck after Daccord couldn't handle a Matthew Highmore shot. And then lastly, we had a goal from Quinn Hughes on a 2-on-1 with Connor Garland. Great pass from Garland. And something I would like to see more of from Quinn Hughes is just jumping on the rush like that because he
2 goals in a row.
he looked
Yeah.
like a forward basically.
Yeah.
5-2 win for the Vancouver Canucks. This was an off with your head prediction for Wes, who goes flawless on the air with the off with your heads.
That's pretty crazy, man. 100%. Like,
Yeah, so 82 times next year, Wes.
yeah.
Off with your heads.
Yeah.
Next, we had the LA Kings in Vancouver, April 28th. I have 2023 written down, but it's 2022. Spencer Martin and Cal Peterson get the start. This is the game we watched on the road to Edmonton. Watched and listened to. Wes listened, watched. Wes was driving. Just to be very clear on that. The Canucks were in the skate jersey again. Dustin Brown was playing in his last regular season game, and potentially Alex Edler was too.
Yeah.
Could be his last regular season game, last game in Vancouver. So
Yeah.
who knows? 0-0 after one, 2-0 LA after two, and then in the third we had a goal from Brock Besser on the power play. Rips a one-timer from the slot, assist to Petey and Miller. Nice pass from Miller over to Petey, like cross-ice pass, and then Petey with basically a touch pass to Brock, who just destroyed this puck.
Yeah.
Then we had a goal from Alex Chason, who chipped in a rebound off a point shot from Quinn Hughes. And Quinn Hughes with a beautiful spin move at the blue line to escape pressure, and then just keeps like his just beautiful skating, like walking the line backwards, throws a puck on net, and Chason gets the rebound.
Yeah.
2-2 after three. In overtime, we had a goal from Brock Besser, sniping 101.
The professor.
In session. Not really. This was kind of an ugly goal, but it went in.
Yeah.
It was a great play from Brock to take the puck from the corner to the front of the net and just kind of did the same thing, like walked a kind of a curve to make his own shooting lane.
Yeah.
Had 3 cracks at it, and you give Besser 3 shots on net. One of those is going in.
Yeah.
So that ended the game in overtime. 3-2 win for the Canucks there.
Yeah.
Still good on that. Then we had the game that we were at. Vancouver in Edmonton, April 29th, 2022. Spencer Martin goes back-to-back. Koskinen started for the Oilers. This was the last game of the year for the Canucks, with the Canuckleheads in the house. JT Miller sitting on 98 points, going for 100. And in the first, we had a goal from JT Miller. A wrister from the slot, assist to Garland and Hunt. Nice move by Hunt to kind of create space and get the puck over to Miller, who is sitting on 99 points. 1-0 Vancouver after 1. 1-0 Vancouver after 2. This is the point of the game where I was starting to freak out a little bit because I've seen a couple of shutouts.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I see a Spencer Martin shutout, I'm a legend.
Yeah.
So in the third, we had a goal from Connor Garland, who just takes the puck to the net with speed after, again, Quinn Hughes just carries the puck in, skates blue line to blue line, and it's a results in a goal. Like the assists just drip off Quinn Hughes.
Yeah,
like
he sees the ice so well. He knows where the play is at that has to be made, and he makes it.
Yeah, and like he didn't. I don't want to say he didn't do anything special because it was a nice play, but he just took what was given to him, and then Connor Garland picks up the puck and scores.
Yeah.
2-2 after 3. The Oilers ruined my Spencer Martin shutout. 2-2 after overtime, and then 3-2 in the shootout for the Edmonton Oilers. JT Miller finishes the year with 99 points.
He tried.
He did try.
It's funny because in the interview after the game, he said, like, that might be the worst third period I've ever played. And that's a fact.
I wasn't happy with his overtime either.
No, like he even admitted, like, I was just sitting on the blue line. I don't know why. I was just expecting a puck. And
I don't really know, obviously, because we were there, what the angle was on TV, but we were behind the Oilers' net, kind of up top, so we could see basically the whole ice. For like the last 10, 15 seconds of overtime, JT Miller was sitting at his blue line by the bench, and I was losing my mind because the puck was in the Canucks zone, and he was just like, I'm either scoring 100 goals or we're losing. And like
he threw it away. Yeah.
I get that it's the last game of the year.
Doesn't matter. Two-way.
But you're a leader on the team.
Yeah.
It's like you're setting an example for Podkolzin, for Lockwood, who like, you know what I mean? Don't be like, I'm the leading point scorer. Watch me be a lazy asshole for this overtime. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
That bothered me a lot.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And it's funny that he admitted it, and it's 100% true. Like, it was crazy to watch, but like, it would have been nice to see him like battle really hard in the zone and then break up ice and maybe get a stretch pass and then go for it. But like, don't just hit on that.
And this is kind of funny too. I think it kind of shows the difference between you and I because you were watching the puck, which
Yeah.
I'm not like
But
I'm
you
not
were
saying you were right or
noticing-
not. I noticed Miller, and you were freaking out because the puck was in the Canucks zone, and I was
Yeah.
freaking out because JT Miller wasn't in the Canucks zone.
Yeah.
Just a little difference there of how
Yeah.
we enjoyed the game. Spencer Martin was ridiculous in this
He
game.
was. He
Absolutely
was awesome.
ridiculous. Back to
His
back.
positioning, man. Like,
Yeah.
he's just so quick and snappy with his positioning and just always on point, always facing the guy with the puck. He's awesome.
Yeah, like, there was no McDavid, no Draisaitl in this game, but still, it was kind of a unmotivated Canucks team, and he just played the night before in LA, right?
Yeah.
So playing back-to-backs for the first time in his NHL career.
Made a lot of beautiful saves.
Yeah, and like there was the toe save where Wes just turned to me and yelled, "Marty, you're right in my face," and like it was a beautiful save. Like I'm very confident going forward next year with Demko and Martin as a duo.
And honestly, I think the team is going to be happier about that.
I think so too.
I don't think anyone's going to say that out loud because everyone knows like Halak works hard and he is a good guy. It's just I think everyone's excited to see what Spencer Martin can do as the backup next year, and then really bring our win percentage up when we have the backup goalie.
Yeah, and like Spencer Martin got a point at least every game he played.
Yep.
So
and if he does that,
huge.
oh my god!
And finished every game he started.
Yeah,
which is like big.
Yeah,
because if you can let Demko start 65 games a year, 60 games a year, but like with nice like rest periods in between, that's scary for the league. Like cause a fresh Demko has proven multiple times already that's like he's a monster. So
and when Demko was supposed to be getting his breaks this season, Halak gets pulled. He's back in net. Like it was just kind of a disaster,
and which eventually led to Demko getting hurt, right, and not playing his best down the stretch. So Spencer Martin's going to be like a very important piece next year.
We need him.
Absolutely. So very pleased with Spencer Martin's game tonight. You can't fault him for getting beat in the shootout. It was a long shootout. Like it was.
He did really well.
Yeah. What did it go like? 7 shooters aside.
Somewhere
in
like
there.
That. Yeah, like 5 to 7, somewhere in that range. Yeah, it was a long shootout.
Yeah, so
we went through a few good shooters. I was like, if I see Petey score in this shootout, man, I'm gonna frickin' lose it. Or Brock.
Yeah.
And
we did get to see a nice Petey one-timer though, so that was
cool.
100%. Okay, so that being in Edmonton, watching that game too was a lot of fun.
It was.
Even though the Canucks lost, like that was a great game to be.
Yeah,
it was entertaining from start to finish, going into overtime, going into a shootout, like
it was fun.
Lots of fun. Thank you to our parents for getting us tickets to that game. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Edmonton, we got a bone to pick with you. Not your team, but your shitty arena.
Yeah.
It looks nice. It's a very beautiful arena, but your seats fucking suck.
They're the worst I've ever sat in.
Yep. Like, I've been to, like, we were in the Lower Bowl. I've been to the Lower Bowl in Vancouver, too. Mm-hmm. And, like, granted, no arena seats are going to be, like, a lazy boy or anything like that.
No.
But Vancouver seats are like that compared to the ones in Edmonton.
You can actually sit in your seat and have arm room. Like, in Edmonton, we were packed like sardines. Like, me and Justin could barely fit in our seats.
Yeah.
And I'm not even quite as wide as him, and I had trouble. So it was terrible. I was not impressed with them at all. Like, I was so lucky I had a tiny guy sitting beside me because I'm, like, drooped into his seat. It was terrible.
Yeah, I was doing the forward and, like, shoulders in just to try and make me as small as possible, which is not an easy feat.
And it was ridiculous, too. You guys got a poor girl spilled on in front of me. I tried to get out of my seats, and the armrests are hugging me so tight I end up spilling the drink a little bit, you know? It was brutal, man. And I was saying to Justin, like, they need to rip all these seats out and put in new seats that are, like, probably 3 inches wider on each seat.
You take out a seat in each row, like, that would make a world of difference.
Seriously.
They're just getting money hungry with that and trying to cram as many people in there as possible.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It's garbage.
Yeah.
You have an exciting team. Make it a pleasure to go watch.
Yeah, no doubt. I was not happy with that at all.
Neither was I.
I'm sure a lot of people aren't either. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of fans that go to those games that are probably like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Surprising amount of Canucks fans.
There was a lot of Canucks fans.
Yeah, Wes and I both made friends separately, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I found... so we were picking out jerseys basically the whole time, which was fun. I picked out the guy in the Alex McGinley jersey, the red and black kind of vertical ones.
Yeah.
Bumped into him during intermission and told him he had the nicest jersey in the house. And also did spot the jersey that didn't make any sense. A Lanny McDonald, Calgary Flames jersey. That man's got some balls wearing that in Edmonton, especially when the Flames aren't playing.
Yeah.
So let's kind of get into some news here now. We've got a lot of notes to go over, which is kind of nice. Again, something taking a little break from putting this out right away helped with. April 26th, 2022, we went over this. The Canucks were called Archer Silovs due to emergency basis. And Tucker Pullman was placed on LTIR. So that's not good to see, but hopefully, again, he gets a nice offseason and kind of recovers from the head injuries that he's been dealing with. May 1st, 2022 was the Canucks Players Year-End Media. Thatcher Demko confirmed he'd been dealing with an injury for about a month. Surgery may be required, which was later confirmed. No, it most likely won't be from his agent, I believe it was. Patrick Alvin, too. Bo Horvat was actually out 6 to 8 weeks with a broken tibia. No surgery required on that.
Yeah, I was happy that he actually released the injury because we were all kind of speculating and crazy.
Yeah.
It was on the shot blocker.
Yeah.
It just shows you how hard that shot was.
Yeah. And sucks for Horvat too, right? Because
he was coming up huge.
Yeah, having a big season. Like, maybe that could have changed the tides for the team. Who knows? But just as far as like a career year, like
100%, that's one of our best players down, and especially a two-way guy that's winning our faceoffs. Yeah. Like to have him gone was big.
Then, like a very sad moment here. Brock was asked about his father Duke, who is going through dementia, which has recently kind of been revealed to us, and it seems like it's pretty bad. And like Brock was visibly emotional, left the interview. There was a lot of heat towards the reporter that asked the question to Brock. I don't think it was like a vicious thing at all. I don't think it was insensitive. I think it's a genuine question, right? Because he did kind of have a disappointing season, but from what we've heard from the press conference, like, I don't hold it against him at all. Like,
no, and I don't either. And what I thought as well is that you could tell Brock really wanted to answer the question. I think he wanted to kind of put that out there just to let everyone know, like, hey, like, I've been dealing with a lot this season. And, like, they gave him the opportunity, like, 2 or 3 times to pass on the question. He kept saying, no, I'm going to answer it.
Yeah.
So I think he kind of wanted to get that off of his chest. And I'm not necessarily glad that it was asked, but I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I don't think there was any intent there, like,
no,
vicious or anything like that.
Not at all.
It was just, like, we all know that his dad's going through a lot, right? The Canucks have made it kind of a little bit public, too, like, with the videos and behind-the-scenes kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, we wish all the best for the Bessers.
Yes, we do. Yeah. Brock Besser's my favorite player. That's why I'm so critical on him. It seems like when he's out there, I'm literally just watching him specifically. So I hope all the best for your pops, and hope you come back next season flying.
And like, it sucks because Brock is a genuinely good person.
He's amazing. Yeah.
Like, you see all the things he does off the ice. Like, it's shitty that like somebody like that has to go through a situation. Like, there's Brock and his family, not just Brock. Like, everybody involved.
And like, you seen the other guys like visibly upset from it too. Like, Petey was affected. Hughes, like, it was crazy to see, man. They're like brothers, those guys. So
and I think it just goes to show how well liked Brock is.
100%. He's one of the favorites.
So let's get on to some other news here. May 4th, 2022, the Abbotsford Canucks were officially eliminated from the AHL playoffs after getting swept by Bakersfield in 2 games. Very disappointing, but like, all in all, a successful first season in Abbotsford for the Canucks. Made the playoffs, had a little bit of a run, and like, now I think you find the balance of signing veterans to play there, but also developing some of your kids.
100%.
Danila Klimovich didn't play either of the playoff games, and like, aside from Jake Rathbone, he's probably your best prospect. Which just kind of goes to show how the prospect pool is for the Canucks right now. Pods had 2 points in the 2 games he played, so that's fun to see.
Yeah.
Also, Oliver Ekman-Larsson confirmed that he'll play for Team Sweden at the 2022 AHF World Championships. Tournament starts May 13th and goes to the 29th in Finland. So good to see OEL keep playing.
And a lot of our players turned it down.
Yeah. you have to imagine Bo would have went or
Yeah.
like would have been asked to go if he
Yeah.
wasn't if his foot wasn't broken.
Yeah.
Surprised Miller and Hughes didn't go.
Yeah.
Brock too. Well, Brock makes sense actually.
Yeah, and I just feel like a lot of our guys are just like a little bit. They have a sour taste in their mouth from how our season ended, and they're like, no, we're like our full commitment is this team right now.
And you gotta imagine they've been pushing so hard for so long.
They need a break, a mental break, but they're gonna come out swinging next year, and I can't wait.
Yeah, and when you look at the guy who did go OEL, right? Good veteran guy who's kind of been through it before, so
Yeah.
just probably wants to play a little bit more hockey and
Yeah.
kind of have some fun.
100%.
Other guys need a break, and that's totally okay.
Yeah, and he's gonna be a leader wherever he goes to, which is fun for him.
Yeah. And May 6th, 2022, the Canucks announced that they dismissed 4 members of their amateur scouting staff. Derek Richard, Tim Leonard, Brandon Benning, who is Jim Benning's son, and Pat Conacher.
Wonder how he got that job. Oh my God, Jim Benning, you were... Oh my God, I'm not even going to spout off. I want to say some bad things, but I'm not going to.
So, kind of making a little bit of a joke of it, but like it sucks that these guys lost their
jobs. Oh, 100%.
Like,
you don't want to see anyone lose their job at the end of the day, but I mean...
And it is like, maybe Brandon Benning was good at his job, like... And
who knows, yeah.
Yeah, like, so we'll never really know there, so... Yeah. It's just kind of...
If he's taken after Pops, I don't have too much confidence in his drafting ability.
To be fair...
Jim Benning does have good drafting ability, so I shouldn't say that. But, yeah, I'm just so happy that we're in the new era right now, and we have a proper management now.
And to those guys, we do wish them all the best. Yeah. Like, obviously, you don't really know the staff, like the amateur scouting staff or anything like that much, as like you do the GM and stuff. So, we wish them all the best. Artur Silovs set to join Team Latvia for the IHF tournament too, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Had kind of a weird season, but was kind of a 3-headed monster with Abbotsford, with Spencer Martin and Mikey DiPietro. Eventually got sent down to Kalamazoo in the ECHL, I believe. So not an ideal situation for him. And I'm pretty high on Silovs, to be honest with you. In the preseason, I thought he would look great.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see him and DiPietro kind of be a tandem in the AHL.
Yeah, now that Spencer Martin's moving up.
Yeah. And I really like our goaltending situation.
Especially with Ian Clark. Like, our goaltending, it looks really bright.
Yeah. And then May 11th, 2022, Canucks prospect Linus Karlsson made Team Sweden for the IHF tournament. We'll be playing along with Oliver Ekman-Larsson, so that's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Guy who broke Elias Pettersson's rookie scoring in the SHL, even though he's a couple years older. But very cool to see. So, it kind of wraps up our season, and Wes and I were watching the highlights to kind of refresh our memory here before we did this, and I already miss Canucks hockey.
Me too, man.
I miss that skate jersey.
It does suck, but I mean, one thing that I was pretty excited about as well is I watched our GM and president talk for a little bit there. And one thing that they did mention is they're doing some big upgrades to our arena, dressing room, the Abbotsford dressing room, and stuff like that. So that's exciting, even for the prospects. And especially for the NHL players that get to enjoy their room, like it's got to be motivating to come into a brand new room.
Yeah, and to see that your GM is doing things like this where they care about the team and like the practice facilities and things like that, right? Like they spend a lot of time practicing, and it's important to have like a good facility, right? Like just everything. Go there with a good attitude. Be like, I don't have to drive 45 minutes to get to practice. You know, like
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's a good morale thing.
Yeah.
I liked the Patrick Alvan and Jim Rutherford media.
Me too.
Availability. Definitely some interesting things there, like especially with Boudreau. They're not willing to give him an extension. They want to see him coach another year. So that's going to be a major thing we follow for the next couple weeks here.
Because by the way they were talking, they're kind of making it sound like Boudreau was hesitant to... I don't know why. Well, they're making it kind of seem like it was a standoff.
In Boudreau's media availability, it seemed like they were going to get an extension done pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe there's something going on that we're not aware of. But
a little bit of a battle behind the scenes.
Like Boudreau should be back.
110%. Look at his record from when we got him on. Like, I want to see him coach a full season.
Yeah. And I think he will be back. Everything just fits so well, right? Like, how often do you see a crowd chant for a coach?
No.
Like, that's such a weird thing, such 100%. A Vancouver thing.
And we have a lot of young players too, and I feel like he gave all those players confidence, like Petey, Brock. Like at times when they weren't so confident,
Yeah.
he lifted them up. So we need that kind of a coach.
And one of the things Rutherford said too is he wasn't a fan of the way we exit our zone, where we're like a dump and chase, punt and hunt kind of team. I think is what he said, like word for word. And that you can't blame Boudreau for that, right? Like
Yeah,
Boudreau was playing a system that allowed his players to thrive and not get their heads caved in, and they still kind of got their heads caved in once in a while.
yeah,
So I think as far as breakouts, which is what Rutherford mentioned specifically, get a better players,
hmm
right? Get Tyler Myers out of there. Let's get a better top pairing defenseman, and I think that solves so many of your problems.
yeah. And like this management group has already shown what they're willing to do to make this team better. And the Aquilinis have as well. He's the one who's stepping up and putting up big money to get all these renos done.
Yeah.
So kudos to him as well.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to see what we get done in the off season because next season's going to be big for us.
Yeah. Also, we should mention yesterday, April 10th, 2022, was the draft lottery. Canucks stay put at 15. I was telling everybody at work, like I was 100% ready to drop down to 16.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was going to happen for the Canucks. Like I don't care if there's a 1% chance, there's 0% chance that we move up, and about a 95% chance that we move back. Didn't happen. Staying put at 15, so that'll be another interesting thing to watch. The Canucks get there. In listening to some other podcasts, specifically, I'm blanking on the name of the podcast. I'm sorry, the one with Thomas Drance and Farhal Nalji.
Yeah.
Thomas Drance brought up an interesting point where the whole situation with Russia right now, like some teams could be hesitant to avoid or like to pick certain players from Russia just because in the first place it's hard to get them. Like,
and then you got to deal with the media.
Yeah, and then you saw with Podkolzin when the Canucks drafted him too. Like he was stuck in the KHL for a year or two.
Yeah.
And the teams he was on just they did not want to play him. Like no matter what level he was at, he was not getting very much ice time. So you kind of it'll be interesting to see what they do there, right? Like if a guy who's in the top 5 falls to 15, do the Canucks take a shot, or are they like we're taking a defenseman for sure? Like who knows? So what happens with Boudreau? That's a June 1st deadline on that one if he wants to re up. So it'll be a big off season for sure. There's obviously free agency. There's going to be contracts
players that can be
renewals.
moved. So.
Yeah. So it will, and like just as far as the podcast goes too, you'll see us like a little bit throughout the summer. Definitely not every weekend because there's going to be some weekends where we got nothing to talk about or some weeks there where just nothing happens. We have another one in the books for sure. We'll definitely do one after the draft. During free agency, we'll have one.
Any trades that go down, just anything that moves with Canucks, we're going to talk about.
But yeah, it's all in all like very fun, crazy roller coaster of a season. I think a roller coaster is the best way to describe it.
Yep.
A roller coaster that ends with the roller coaster going off the wheels and crashing and dying. So.
Yep. Which I'm pretty happy that we were able to put a couple of good streaks together because some of the teams around the league this year, they got kicked around like it was just a field day.
Yeah, Seattle never really had a moment where they looked like they were going to be the next Golden Knights.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I don't even want to chirp Arizona because they're in a terrible place right now. But, like, I feel bad for those players, man. Like Clayton Keller and like the D-man number 6.
Chikrin,
man. Like players like that where they're just like, come on, get me out of here.
Where you're gonna go play in a college arena in front of 5,000 people next year.
Yeah, like it's such a sad situation. So we're nowhere near there. So big ups to the Canucks. I can't wait for next season because I think there's no way we don't make the playoffs, especially with Boudreau as our coach.
Getting into it early, eh?
Look at our numbers from Boudreau. Like I think we needed a coaching change. We needed a new voice in the room, which I was hesitant on at first because I like Travis Green a lot.
Yeah.
But it obviously needed to happen because look where we went after.
Yeah. So you just brought up Travis Green, and kind of now that the dust has settled on the season a little bit, what do you think of this whole situation? Like, I feel bad for Green. I don't know if it was all his fault. I don't know if this team just got off to a horrendous start. Like, because he seems like a really good coach. There were certain things he did that, he can improve on, but it was his first
crack at an NHL.
Yeah, that was his first NHL
Yep.
head coaching job. So
Yeah.
You're always gonna get better. So
Yeah.
like obviously I'm glad Bruce came in and he did look like he changed this team.
Yeah.
And I am excited for next season too. I think the Canucks will be better.
Yeah.
And different. But what like do you think Green deserved it, or do you think it was just a situation?
I think Green deserves to be a coach in the NHL.
Yes.
I just think it was time for a new voice in the room. I definitely don't want to bash Green by any means because I really liked him as a coach, and he was a face-off guy himself when he was in the league. So I feel like I know Bo is already a good centerman, but I feel like some of that kind of rubs off on the centerman around the team. You know what I mean? To be good at face-offs. Look what JT Miller's turned into when it comes to face-offs. Elias Pettersson's working on his craft. I'm excited about Sheldon Dries.
Yeah, you like Sheldon Dries?
Man, I like him a lot.
I was really
Kid wins, draws, he starts scoring goals. I'm like, man, this is like a mini Bo Horvat. Yeah. Like, he definitely has that type of play style. But back to the question. I think Green deserves an NHL coaching job. I just think we needed a new voice.
Yeah, that's fair.
And maybe his coaching style wasn't quite, like, maybe the players didn't quite agree with it. You know what I mean? After a while, maybe they just felt like the system wasn't working. And once you kind of get that internal vibe going, it's really hard to win hockey games.
Yeah.
Everyone has to buy in. So
yeah, like I don't think his message kind of wore out. You know, I don't think the players tuned him out. I think it just got off to such a bad start in the season, and it just
maybe
spiraled.
Just snowballed. Yeah,
like because I'm in the same boat. I think he is an NHL head coach, and a pretty good one at that.
Yeah.
So. But who knows? It's just speculation. I was just kind of curious to see what you think on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely hope he gets another job.
I love Travis Green.
And another thing that I want to talk to you about is the blue line, which we have spent a lot of time talking about over this past season.
Yeah.
To me, the one thing that I think you really do to shake it up is you got to get rid of Myers.
Which this is where I kind of conflict because honestly, it's crazy. Like, I feel like our blue line is in a pretty good position right now. And OEL and Myers started to kind of find their groove a little bit as a pairing. And I mean, there's tons of other pairings for OEL out there, and you could probably get a pretty good defenseman back for Tyler Myers, and it might be a better fit. Who knows? But I feel like they were meshing at some points, and then other times you see them get split up, and it's kind of one of those things. But
yeah,
I didn't mind Tyler Myers. I just don't like that A on his jersey, but that's okay. I can deal with that once in a while.
See, for me, I look at next year, the blue line, and I'm looking at from the bottom pairings up.
And we have Rathbone.
I would like Shen Rathbone.
Yeah.
I would like Dermott OEL.
Yeah.
And then I don't want Myers Hughes.
No.
I don't want Dermott Hughes.
Yeah.
I don't really want Myers OEL.
Yeah.
I don't want Myers Rathbone or Myers Shen.
I hear you. It's kind of the odd man out of those pairings.
And even like if you don't get a bunch back for Myers, it frees up that cap space, right?
Yeah.
Then you go.
And that's what our GM is about right now.
Yeah, then you can take a shot at a free agent to play with Quinn Hughes or something like that, right?
Kyle Burrows, man. I like Kyle Burrows. Like, throw him in the mix.
As like
not a full time,
as a rotational guy, like covering injuries.
Yeah,
we like you look at Cale Makar in Colorado, right? Has Devon Taves, who is so underrated because he plays with Cale Makar. We need that for our Quinn Hughes. I'm not saying go out and get a guy who's also going to put up 60 points.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, just another guy that's
I love Luke Shen, but a 33-year-old Luke Shen cannot be a top pair defenseman with Quinn Hughes for a full season.
He'll be on the squad, but he won't be the top.
I love him as a third pairing guy with Jack Rathbone. Or like even I wouldn't mind a Dermott Rathbone pairing, and then you have Shen OEL as a shutdown. Like that, I love that idea.
Yeah, and I like the idea of Rathbone and Shen because Shen's kind of the rookie protector. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of his role. So playing with Rathbone, it gives Rathbone the confidence to kind of move around the ice and move the puck the way he wants to without getting picked on too bad.
Yeah, give me 14 minutes of Shen and Rathbone. Yeah. I'm in.
Yeah, me too.
Give me like 25 minutes of Myers Hughes? No, I don't want that. And I don't think it's because of Quinn Hughes. I just think because Myers would make bad reads and be like, oh, that's Quinn Hughes jumping in the rush? Me too.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's what Myers saying.
That is kind of the knock on Myers a little bit is he is jumping up into that. But it's funny because him and JT Miller started clicking, started just feeding him one-tees and stuff. And it's like, okay, but like with Quinn, that doesn't work.
And also like, maybe this is the start of the decline for Tyler Myers as far as offense goes, right? Had one goal this year. Played 82 games. Only Canuck to play every game this year. One goal.
Yeah.
Like he's been a pretty decent scorer from the blue line as far as defensemen go.
Yeah.
Like 6 last year, 6 the year before. That's not great, but it's not like
bad.
awful.
Yeah.
But one, Luke Shen had 5
Yeah.
goals this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like throw a puck on net.
Yeah, it was pretty bad from the goal scoring aspect. Yeah. Honestly, there were stretches there where we needed him to play big minutes, and he was playing big minutes. So I do have a bit of a soft spot for him, but I will not be disappointed if we get something in return for him.
Like all in all, this was the best Tyler Myers in a Canucks uniform season we've seen.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't worth $6 million.
No, and that's the thing. He's definitely overpaid, but I'm glad it wasn't like a Schmidt situation where he comes in and just looks out of frickin', like a fish out of water.
Nate Schmidt might be the most unlucky player in the league, and not just because of the teams he's played for or anything like that. He gets hit by so many pucks, and we've seen multiple pucks in the one season he was here. Multiple pucks go in the net off him.
Yeah.
It happened to him again this year against the Canucks. Which sucks because he seems like such a nice dude. Yeah, just very unlucky.
Yeah, but yeah, we've gotten a pretty good Tyler Myers, but who knows? Maybe like Justin said, maybe it's starting to decline. Maybe we get rid of him now while we can get something in return and then move on.
And I'm not sure when exactly it kicks in, but his
no
movement goes down to a 10-team list, right? So you're not shipping him to Arizona for. You're not buying back shitty contracts either. So
yeah, we don't want any more Arizona players. I'm sorry, nothing against you guys, just no more.
But yeah, so that's to me the big move you make on the blue line. You can't really get rid of OEL, I don't think. Nor do I really want to.
No, I don't want to get rid of OEL at all. I love him. I think he's the shutdown man for our team, and we need one of those. We got him.
I do like OEL. Yes, you want him at a cheaper deal, right? But
he's willing to play different roles,
yes,
which I like about him.
Yeah,
he's not no, I'm the main man.
Yeah,
I put up the points around here. Not that type of situation at all. He's ready to let Quinn. Hey, you take the driver's seat, kid. I'll play shutdown.
Yeah,
no problems doing it, and I love that out of him. That's leadership quality.
And shown when he needs to step back into that role that he can do it. Flawlessly.
Oh, first line power play sounds good.
Yeah,
jumps out there, makes it happen.
Whatever you need.
Yeah,
OEL's got you.
Love OEL.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that'll pretty much do it for this podcast. I guess we got to do our Canuck of the week.
Yeah,
Canuck 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
For me personally, kind of after the media.
This is what I was thinking too. I was like, do I let this really affect my decision?
Oh, it's got to be Brock. Because A, Brock was good.
Yep.
And B, we found out everything that's been going on personally.
He potted a couple beauty goals. And he's been trending back in this direction as of late. You see P just trying to wire him pucks across the ice because he knows what Bess is capable of. Mine's Brock Besser. It was one of those things where I was checking myself, am I just doing this because of what I just saw? But I was like, no. He played good hockey. Elias Pettersson played amazing hockey. JT Miller, besides that Edmonton game, played great hockey. So, all those guys, kudos to you. Thatcher Demko, big shouts out. You were freaking amazing all season.
Basically the Canuck of the week for a month in a row.
Yeah, 100%. Killed himself for the squad this year because he didn't have a backup. Sorry, Halak, for the cheap shot there, but it is what it is.
Actually, one thing before we leave here, too, the Canucks year-end awards were announced. I'll go over those quickly.
I did see those, actually, on Instagram.
MVP, Thatcher Demko.
No surprise.
Best defenseman, Quinn Hughes.
No surprise.
Most exciting player, JT Miller. I would have went with Connor Garland or maybe Petey.
Yeah, man, every time Garland touches the puck, I'm just on the edge of my seat.
Yeah. Unsung hero, Luke Shen.
100%.
I get it, but also I think Luke Shen is a little bit some. But I'm not taking anything away from him.
Yeah.
We do the Canucks fan base does love them some Luke Shen.
Yeah.
But deserves it still.
But that's the thing. I don't think too many people expected a whole lot. And he did better than expected. So it's throw him
true.
Up. Yep.
Community leadership, Brandon Sutter. Most 3-star selections, JT Miller. That's interesting. I would have guessed Demko for sure.
Me too, 100%.
And sorry,
no. I was just gonna say sometimes the goalies get overshadowed.
I don't think Demko did this year.
No.
Oh, as far as 3 stars?
As far as getting in this, I just feel sometimes the players kind of steal all the shine.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Definitely could have happened. I feel like a 2-goal game people value way more than like a 37 save performance.
Yeah, which is
leading scorer JT Miller. No surprise.
no 99 points. Correct myself.
And then so another stat or another tweet here from Jeff Patterson. The Canucks picked up at least a point in all 5 of Spencer Martin's starts this season. He didn't allow more than 2 goals in regulation in any game. That's big from a backup.
Dude, he basically told everyone, Halak, you're out of here. That's my net for the backup.
Yeah.
Next season.
Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna pretty much do it for our first go around as a podcast.
Yeah.
It was a very fun year. Podcast wise, there were a couple depressing episodes.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And it's funny too because you go through those episodes and you can tell it was a roller coaster of a season.
We hit rock bottom.
We're ready to trade the team. Like it got bad, and then of course we're like, it's playoff time, and it's just funny how the reactions go, and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun doing this. Yeah. Definitely, we'll be back next year.
100%.
Thank you to everybody who watched and tuned in. Our family, being immense supporters. My mom and your mom especially, our grandma Gail loves the show. Sent the picture of our grandpa Bernard, great grandpa Bernard too, I believe. So thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you to everybody who commented. Even that one asshole from the start of the year that was trying to say that losing to Detroit and Buffalo was awesome.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah. We'll. You'll see us from time to time. You'll hear from us from time to time. If you're subscribed on your phone there, you'll see the odd Canucklehead podcast pop up over the summer here.
Yes, sir.
Definitely have a couple things to clean up too, but in no real rush. It was nice to take a little break as much as I do love doing this.
100%.
It's we watched 82 games this year, Wes.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I've done it a handful of times, but it was
And we every weekend did the podcast.
Outside of COVID?
Like 2 times where we couldn't do it. Because of sickness.
But even then, last weekend too, like I wasn't feeling great from just being exhausted from wanting to go all week and then work, and then I had concert Tuesday. Like
busy.
Yeah, beats you up.
Yeah.
So again, thanks for everybody who watched. Stay tuned for season 2. Even Canuckier than the last. If you like this, please subscribe. The Canuckleheads podcast on YouTube. Canuckleheads podcast on Spotify, Apple, everywhere. Thanks to Chris for doing the art and editing most of the episodes.
Thank you, Chris.
Every thumbnail.
Yeah.
Kind of the man behind the machine there. I guess that makes us the machines.
Yeah. And the only guest. Did we have another guest? I think
we did not have another guest.
Only Chris this year, so.
Yeah, big honor for Chris there.
Yeah.
You're very welcome, Chris. Okay, so weird splicing here because I kind of forgot this. But lastly, thank you.
Thank you.
This whole thing was Wes's idea. We said this before. And when we talked about it, like I think we talked about it on a car ride when we were talking about the Canucks.
The whole time.
Yeah. My idea was just that, or what I thought in my head was just the audio form, and I was like, we can do that, no problem. I know how to do that.
Yeah.
The video was kind of a surprise when I showed up to do the first podcast. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this with me. Thank you for talking Canucks with me.
Yeah.
Thank you for having the idea.
Of course.
And it wouldn't have happened without you.
Thank you for showing up every goddamn day and supplying the place for 90% of the episodes.
Yeah. Shot in a couple of different spots this year, actually. It's kind of
100%.
Cool. Yeah. We planned on shooting in Edmonton, but it was just like, we did a lot.
We had a lot to do. And hopefully we can get like a permanent kind of like studio set up for next season. I know I did say maybe it was going to happen this season, but there's going to be some equipment upgrades, maybe a studio. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, we're hoping for definitely a new laptop. Like that's happening.
Yeah.
Because the one we record on, like you probably noticed if you watch all year, there's the odd episode where it just sounds like we're talking through trash cans. Like and there's nothing we can do about it. It's just when the laptop decides to suck, it sucks. And we can't, we can restart it.
Yeah.
We can relaunch our, audio program. It just doesn't matter.
And it's funny because like we have two good quality mics,
Yeah.
and we only used one the whole season just because we had to. But next season we're hoping like both mics, good quality, like the audio is going to go through
Yeah.
the roof in comparison. So.
Hoping for a lot of big things for next year.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for watching.
All right, man.
Thanks
Another
for
one in
watching.
the bag.
Good year, Wes.
Yeah.